This large 345 transmission line is kind of like an interstate system. So if you consider the highway system, the interstates being the heaviest traffic flowing at the fastest rate, that's what the 345 lines do. Then all the other smaller transmission lines become the highways and byways and off-ramps and things like that. The Midwest Transmission Project is a reliability project required through this Southwest Power Pool. So there was a need identified in the region for north to south flow from essentially OPPD's territory down into Missouri. And this line was looked at as the most cost-effective solution.
The purpose of it is improve reliability on the line to allow some economic benefit for us to be able to sell energy to the south or buy it from the south. And then also, one thing that has already been realized is allows access to renewable energy. We started off with the routing of the project, determining how we're going to get from point A to point B.
You know, Kansas City Power and Light had their ideas and we had our ideas. Threw some estimates back and forth with them and came to be that the Nebraska City to Maryville, Missouri to Sibley was the best option.
OPPD does a stakeholder engagement process, and we met advisors and local leaders and then the public, 3 different phases, as we determined and got input from a social perspective, from an engineering perspective, and from a environmental perspective to all determine what the right route was to get from point A to point B.
We held a series of open houses to get feedback in 3 separate locations in Nebraska. We held 3 rounds of it for each of those. So there was a great number of public meetings that were formal, that we asked for feedback so that we can make educated decisions on how we're going to go from a grand spiderweb network of lines that spanned across multiple states to a few corridors or a few lines that we could get like specific feedback. How many homes are we going by? Is there any schools? How much farmland are we traversing? Not just adjacent to, but right down the middle. You're affecting people's livelihood and personal property, and some of these properties have been in their hands or in their families for hundreds of years. We don't take that lightly, and those decisions are we stress over those pretty deeply when we go to do that. There was always a hotline. We had a website that people can go and comment at any time. After about the 18 months, we announced a final route.
The second phase, when we get into permitting and designs of the project and environmental issues and so forth like that.
Start to finish is 180 miles, 45 of it being in Nebraska.
We also had 2 associated 69 kV lines that we were rebuilding along with the 345 project for a total of about 67 miles worth of projects, all in the one area around Auburn.
You know, structures are well above 100 feet, 120, 345 kV. It's the highest voltage that OPPD deals with. Really in the region, that's kind of the big voltage.
Not just the line itself, but also there was the place where the line terminates at the substation in Nebraska City, and that's an important part of the project too. It includes things like circuit breakers and switches, includes protective relaying systems inside the substation itself, and metering and those types of things, all to make sure that we're able to energize and use the line on a regular basis and de-energize it if we need to if there's a problem. And then finally, the construction of the project.
We roughly spent about $3.8 million in the local community. Things like fuel, lodging, meals, concrete, repairs. It takes a lot to keep a project running over the course of about 18 months, for a total of about 77,000 man hours. We got through 18 months of construction and 45 miles of build without a single safety incident on the construction side.
Fortunately for OPPD, this was the biggest project in the United States for a while. I presented New York, Phoenix, San Diego, and a few other places to talk about the routing and siting efforts as well as the right-of-way acquisition phases of these projects. We won awards for the routing and siting on this and the stakeholder engagement on this project. So That's some great stuff to bring back to OPPD.
Part I'm most proud of our ability to do what's best for our customer owners and build things the most cost-effective way that we can.
The Midwest Transmission Project, not only will it improve reliability for our customers, but also for the region as a whole. It will also increase capacity, so we're able to bring more renewable energy on the system. So overall, we have achieved these goals. Thanks again to the team for completing the project safely, on schedule, and under budget. They've done a great job, and they have a lot to be proud of.